that you get, and more importantly, every map that you win is super important. Because when there's 3 teams in this first seed, only 2 can make it through into semifinals, and that's determined by map scores and then kill differentials. So you have to play this at 100%, and that's one thing I've been saying since yesterday about Rapha and DaHanG that I really respect, is they play every match no matter what, even if they're up 40-2. They played at 100% energy.
Well, we are into the first map here between AMD and Team Liquid. Following Latrommi at the moment, who managed to clear up a couple of kills off the beginning. But a quick look at the lineups shows that we've got a Visor Galena for Liquid and a Doom Visor for AMD.
It's the first time I've seen Latrommi not play Galena. I actually cannot think of another time I've seen him not play it. It's always been.
I'm curious, because we haven't seen lots of Blood Covenants this tournament so far, but I'm wondering if there's maybe something they have specific to this, or maybe they're feeling this is how they would like to they prefer to pressure Team Liquid.
Oh, speaking of Doom, Latrommi will drop to DaHanG and his totem. So initially AMD with a 1 frag lead, but it's all going to come down to this quad. It's all going to come down to the setup. You know Liquid are going to be very smart about this. They're going to set up at the right time. They're not going to be caught off guard of where they are, maybe try to go for a cheeky heavy. Nice little rail out of DaHanG, does catch Cooler on the drop. Again, 30 seconds to go. And very important to see how teams go about leading up to this. I think Liquid should have the advantage just for the fact that they do have this totem. You can heal up into the quad, and Rapha comes through the teleporter. He gets the first frag into the Latrommi. They're going to trade places. Cooler, he's going to get the return kill, and DaHanG just can't hit these rails.
Missing
he backs
everything.
Off.
That's really kind of destroyed that moment for Team Liquid. If DaHanG could come in with the support, then they probably get the 2-for-1 just then. But instead, they're not able to. At least for DaHanG's sake, he backs away and makes it only a 1-for-1.
Oh, they're going to pincer hit on this one. Where's Cooler on the respawn? Latrommi's going to actually go through the teleporter to buy some time for Cooler to get here. Totem's going to stop him going through. He actually gets dropped yet again. And DaHanG on 74 HP. He will take down Cooler. Dances around those rockets. Latrommi looking to potentially come through. I wonder if he has Berserk, but it doesn't matter. He walks straight into a rocket, a quad damage rocket, and DaHanG now on 4 kills from the quad.
Really aggressive play then from AMD. They tried to really fight back, knowing that DaHanG was low. You can see Latrommi going through that teleporter, but unfortunately for them, DaHanG had a perfect timing on that rocket and was able to shut down any further signs of aggression. 10-8 for the time being on Liquid. It's been swinging a little bit back and forth in the early stages, but almost closing out this. Oh my god, that rail shot. Definitely closing out the power-up with a solid frag and an even further lead.
That had to been like a pixel he caught him on. Like the position he was dropping from. Fantastic shot to DaHanG, and he kind of makes up for the missed rails earlier on before quad did spawn in. Definitely a consistent player here. Mega's up in 19, Heavy up in 24. And he's going to start to get a couple of frags on the board. I mean, they're still not that far behind. It's only 3 frags. It's not like the run by DaHanG really solidified them to have a giant lead. That lead can easily be pecked away at, and it has been. It's just now 1 kill difference between the 2.
I was expecting a much slower game between these 2 teams, but it's actually been incredibly aggressive. Both of them fighting heavily for positions, for getting over to that Mega, to that Heavy. And we've seen also some interesting dynamics on the power-up setups too. We're actually not too far away from the first protection of the map. And I think already these teams are going to be starting to think, what is their position going to be when they get towards it?
I think, again, this is a time for Latrommi to shine. If he can just get a couple of hourglasses, get that Berserk back off cooldown, so he can use it for the protection, speed in with it, and then he can run away if he needs to with his fist. What are Doomslayer's fists named? Does he have any names for him? Is it just Doom and Slayer?
It's not
left and right?
Lefty and righty, like you said.
Hey, you know, you gotta have like a weird name to catch people off guard. Cooler gonna suicide so he can spawn back in to have the HP for this control. Mega up in 16, and Latrommi's just gonna get bounced into the air.
Yeah, he got no damage at all basically there, and that should be DaHanG able to take that protection. That's 2 power-ups in a row now. They've only got a 3 frag advantage, but if they can build that to sort of 5, 6, then they can consider that a great success. But they've got to make sure their plays afterwards are also strong. So I feel like AMD tend to come back. It's a 1-for-1 as Rapha goes down to Latrommi there.
And that happened last time too with quad. Rapha did get dropped because he was in a 1-on-2. DaHanG wasn't able to get there in time. Actually, I hope we get to go into comms soon with Liquid when the next quad does come up, just to hear about how they do organize and set up their plan of attack into that. Again, I mean, Rapha, whenever you hear him stream or whenever you hear him cast or something like that, he's always, you just really learn about how smart of a player he is and how much he actually thinks about every situation and every variable.
Well, Cooler going up the bounce pad does get some decent damage, but we can see basically from the middle of the protection to now, it's still just a 3 frag advantage. Not a lot to work with. Getting a 1-for-1. Cooler, long distance rockets, not going with the machine gun for the time being. That's your teammate. Don't rocket him.
There's not actually been any like rail control, like hardcore rail control, I guess we could say, out of both teams. They're more about just skirmishing, and they're not really about locking down a part of the map. Cooler's gonna run out of rockets, won't be able to hit that shot. 45 seconds till quad's up, and Liquid does have their biggest lead of the game, currently at 5.
You're right to point out the rail control, because I think that's something that like Ice Climbers and Super Awake are a lot more focused on with their sort of rail-heavy play. But it's very much been a lot more close to the item, specifically power-up mega area in this instance. But we have actually got the ability to go on the comms to check out Liquid. It's about 20 seconds away from quad damage, so let's find out what they're saying.
Like 170?
Yep. I got it. Okay, going rocket.
Okay.
14 is heavy. I'm with. Let's go.
I'm spamming it.
I can take.
Spamming it for you. Mech is up.
You go, tank. Killing. LG. Shards. Nails together.
Okay.
Cancel, he's left. I'm on heavy. I got 44.
Slick comes there by Liquid. Nice start to the power-up run. Securing it, you can see they're holding those entrances towards the power-up. And Rapha building a really nice run. You can see that it's extended even further, almost a 10 frag advantage for them.
Yeah, this is looking really good for them. I mean, they're 3 for 3 for power-ups now. I can't even imagine in terms of Mega and Heavy how many they've been able to pick up compared to AMD. But it's definitely been all Liquid for the most part. And I think one thing I love about their comms is they do a lot more than they stream. I didn't really hear it much there. Is that they say cancel a lot. So like when they say okay, like one nail, and then if they like go check it out and he's not there, they say cancel. Just let the other one know that okay, he's not there. You know, like never mind, forget about that. But they also call their path into quad. Rapha said okay, I'm going rockets, so that I can take it. And then DaHanG's like, all right, I'm gonna spam for you so you can pick it up. Really good teamwork between the two. And this run that they've been able to get with these 3 power-ups now has netted them this giant lead.
Yeah, AMD have been pretty lackluster for the last minute and a half. They've got a lot of work to do to push back into this. Starting with a little bit of heavy control is going to do well, but that was about 120 nails that went out, and Cooler hit 0.
It's harsh. That's harsh. It's right, though. It's true. And they've actually lost control of Mega for quite a while. Heavy's been on the side of Liquid for a good amount of times. You see a heavy investment of AMD to make sure to lock down Mega, to have some sort of lifeline here to take away stack from Liquid and obviously make them stronger.
We've got a special request from chat now, guys. So we're going to be able to actually go over to some of the AMD comms and just. I'm not going to understand much of it, but I know there's some people who definitely will. Let's go over to that.
Один там.
Ну, ты придешь? Нет? Ну, куда ты ушел?
Да у меня 4 хп было.
Ну, постоял бы со мной вместе. Что за прикол?
Ну, 4 хп у меня.
Ну, там бы умер.
Зачем?
Did you actually hear it, by the way, Suit?
I heard.
I heard him say in Russian, okay, the Cooler. I will go heavy.
I don't understand Russian, but from the tone of it, it sounds like they were discussing almost something else, because there was a lot of talking going on, but they were both standing below bridge. So I don't know if they were trying to strategize and like take a second to say, let's try and build something for the next situation, the next power-up, but I'm just throwing the idea out there. I would love to hear a translation.
They've not had consistent control of any of these items. Again, Rapha sneaks in after Cooler took the last Mega. Heavy's just been in full control of Liquid. 1 HP for Rapha, gets the kill, and DaHanG's just going to actually back off Heavy. So as you were saying before, you don't necessarily need to pick up an item right away. You can just back off. I mean, you can let them take it, but then come back stronger and finish them off for a kill.
Well, a lot of the players for AMD fighting on the pillars area. DaHanG just sat there on his own, so sadly not going to be able to do much. But as long as he doesn't give up any sort of free frags much for the remainder of the match, and they're able to get at least a 1 for 2 trade, they should be able to coast towards victory on map 1.
I'm still not sold by the Doom on this map. I feel like Galena, as we've already seen with DaHanG alone, he's gotten 2 kills on Latrommi by putting a totem right out the teleporter. It gives you so much power-up control because that you lock down, well, not necessarily lock down fully, but you prevent a team from easily walking through, especially a berserking Doom. And if he does come through, you're going to do 100 damage. It makes him even squishier to finish him off. So I'm not really a big fan of the Doom here. I understand that gives you more mobility, so you can get things like Rail, but you can see again, DaHanG gets a kill onto Latrommi just as we talk about it with the totem.
DaHanG has had an absolute storm of a game. 26 for 10 right now. You look over at Latrommi. I've been bigging him up a lot, but he's not really been able to have a presence on this map. Rather, he stayed on Galena, at least able to provide some of that totem support, and it's not been the case. They're almost 20 kills behind with little hope now in making it back.
And we talk about power-up control, like for instance, Total Recall we saw yesterday, that was their main focus. Well, right now, Liquid are 5 for 5 in power-ups on Blood Covenant. Not a single time have we seen AMD be able to take it or even properly set up for it. Again, a lot of that's due just to the totem. Latrommi's died 3 times now coming through that teleporter because DaHanG is constantly keeping a totem there when the power-up is about to spawn. Oh, that was nice.
Nice little drive-by rail. Trying to get the angle. The pillar gets in the way of him, but that's all good. These rails don't mean too much anymore. As long as he sticks relatively close.
21 frags, 22 now, dude.
Oh my god. And DaHanG, he's getting the 1-for-1s.
I feel like we keep playing like this. I mean, you can see why everyone considers them to easily be a top 4, if not top 2 team in this tournament.
I'm curious what the next map's going to be like. I'm not going to write out AMD straight away. I think we could see a very different map too. They certainly look good at the beginning of the first 5 minutes of this map, but all of a sudden, I mean, you could see the focus, or hear the focus in the comms especially. There was a certain drive there from Liquid, and they absolutely buckled down and nailed that one home.
Yeah, and again, I mean, when you have every power-up, every protection, every quad, you can expect something like that to happen. You know, you need to see more emphasis out of AMD on that. Especially, I think that's something that this tournament has kind of shown, is emphasis on these power-ups and what you can accomplish from it.
Yeah, well, DaHanG with 30 frags. At the back end of 2018, he was definitely the best player for me after taking that Dreamhack Winter victory in Duel and in Sacrifice with the Liquid boys. And he's continuing to have a great tournament now, dealing a lot of damage. You know, he's playing the Galena as well, and he is just getting frag after frag. So yeah, DaHanG playing out of his mind.
Well, that's the crazy, like, good thing about Liquid is that technically they can both play whatever they need to. Like, if DaHang's like, no, I want to do Visors this map, technically they can. Especially when it came to clutch, I remember talking to Rapha, and he's like, yeah, well, DaHanG can play clutch, or I can play clutch. It's maybe map dependent on what they want to pair it with, but they have the ability to interchange roles. And as we were, I don't know if we're talking about this in the car or here, but with Cooler, actually, yeah, he was talking to Latrommi, and I think he said in the car that it's like, why are you playing Galena? Like, why not play Visor, who's more of like a champion you can use to help get you more kills? He's like, that's because Cooler's playing him. So I was like, all right, I'll play Galena. And I wonder if like you have more of, you know, viability and being able to switch to different champions. I know Cooler can play Galena. I know Latrommi can play Visor. But having the ability to be flexible and actually practicing the flexibility.
It's worth practicing it. If you're practicing only one champion composition and you're not experimenting around that, so actually, if we switch the roles up, we might benefit from that somehow. Yeah. Even if it's map dependent or something like that, I think it's really worth experimenting. A lot of people get stuck into some habits or they make some decisions and they're terrified to stray away from it. I don't want to say that is what is happening with AMD, but I might have incidentally said that. So
that's fine.
Well, we are moving into map 2. It is Corrupted Keep between Liquid and AMD. Are Liquid going to sail through this group stage and make it over to day 3?
Oh,
AMD got some fight. See you later, Cooler. Airborne.
What's better, the Cypherine or the Coolerine?
Coolering sounds a bit better.
Oh.
Ooh. No, I
spotted some stronger. Initially, DaHanG was sitting on Galena. Actually, sorry. No, he was on Visor.
It would have been straight away because he had the ability.
I have bad eyes.
we see Latrommi and Cooler going back over to the Visor Galena combo. This is what I think I'm more comfortable watching them play. But
this was their choice, AMD's choice, since Liquid did have the final map choice. And DaHanG again, I mean, so much HP to work with here. Latrommi and Cooler able to pick on Rapha, who's by himself. DaHanG comes in for a nice frag. We've seen almost every time Cooler and Latrommi love to hold this room, even Cooler and Neutrino. Maybe it's more of a Cooler thing than more of a Cooler Latrommi thing. They want to hold LG. They want to maintain that position, which also makes them very susceptible to a peaker explosion if you come in from a very good angle.
Well, what I saw on the last game between Maestro and AMD is that when they were playing Corrupted Keep, it was the people who had got the most LG control, or the most recent LG control by the Mega Health, that were starting to make that lead or create the comeback. So it's really if those are the telling signs, you need to have mega room control, have the lightning gun, and yeah, these guys are going to have to fight for it because the position is so valuable.
And we're starting to see, as like people play more and more and more, that on your maps like Awoken, on your maps like Corrupted Keep, there's these set areas that you want to maintain control of. Awoken, the Rail Room, Corrupted Keep, the LG Room, as we've been saying. There are some maps like Blood Run where you don't really lock down control of a certain part of the map. It's just more of a free-for-all on where you actually do fight.
And Latrommi goes down just before, so Cooler's not able to fire rockets from above. It's going to be a free quad in the way of Liquid, and with Rapha now. Let's see if he can chase up any more information from DaHanG. Nothing over at Heavy. Time to chase around and head over to Mega Room.
I do like how, well, I liked how AMD was playing this one, just trying to sit back, not trying to rush the quad down, just trying to wait it out, which is almost now gone. And it's limited Rapha to only 1 kill. Obviously 2 before the quad actually spawned in, but only 1 kill quad run. I think it's very acceptable for AMD.
Yeah. Could definitely be worse. You can see Pika making his way to one of the players then. DaHanG's going to be able to finish off Cooler. That could have been the initial damage. And they're going to have to find a way to shut down the Strog. Again, DaHanG
Control.
playing Strog on this map. No European teams are doing that. And we do know that he is a bit of a trend setter. This could be definitely a sort of special trick up their sleeves, bringing it to Dreamhack Tour.
Just look how they transition on the map. They get Mega, they go over to Heavy. They are strangleholding against AMD here, preventing them from getting any semblance of control at all. Maybe Cooler can drop to get Mega. He does have Latrommi up to the sides. They were able to finally secure a Mega and get a kill into Rapha, but the pressure was still there. Every pickup that AMD does get, it's not free. It's not easy. Liquid make them work for it.
Latrommi pressuring over by Heavy. Oh, the Pika is going to come straight at him, and there's nothing he can do. He was just loading those rockets onto Tribal area. He was done for.
The thing is, there's only, what, 3 weapons I can deal with Pika instantly? The shotgun, the rail, and the rocket. So, there's no rail. Rockets, you're going to take self-damage, and the shotgun I don't think he even had. And you have to wait for them to be close.
Don't know if there's anything else. Could you go for a Tri-Bolt Pika kill? I don't know.
You could. I mean, yeah,
Try.
yeah, that's true. That's true. You do 100, and Pika I think only has 80.
But it's, again, it requires even more accuracy. Being able to hit it with something else, you're probably going to give yourself an easier time. Fighting for the protection, but that is going to be taken by the AMD players. Rapha just trying to pick on the player who hasn't got protection, but is not able to get anything. Cooler trying to project that trajectory with the nail gun, but he's got a stack with that mega health. He's going to tell Latrommi, hang back, don't give up a kill at all, and we can go. He should have just seen the Heavy. Maybe he can tell him to go over there, but I think Rapha's going to be able to pick it up. Or was that DaHanG, in fact?
No, it's Rapha.
Okay.
Playing Galena. Really fortunate again. Protection picked up. Not really 1 kill.
And Latrommi goes down.
And they netted a negative from that. -1 with the Latrommi going down. And then again with Cooler down at the end.
I don't know if there's a certain field of view that Cooler's playing with, but I saw the Heavy on his side of the screen. And he didn't go for it. Gave it away. And maybe they would have had those extra resources necessary to continue to get some more frags. But otherwise it is Liquid smashing AMD with an 11 frag advantage.
They're always there together. Whether it's Heavy, whether it's Mega, they're sticking together and fighting for these power-ups or these pickups every single time. Pika coming in yet again. Doesn't get the, I think he got like 31 was that, if I saw correctly?
I think the LG did actually take down the Pika before, but it was close enough to do some damage still.
Yeah. Want to hang. They pushed out the,
Oh.
thought he was falling off the map.
Oh my god, it's still going alive. Rocket from Cooler, eventually gonna hit its mark. But it is Liquid that have got control here.
We've got another cycle of items too before we do get quad, and this quad is going to be massive because this can give Liquid such a big lead. They already have 12 frags. We'll be going to the comms shortly, not just yet, but 25 seconds to go on the quad. Mega about to spawn in. And Rapha DaHanG, they're just looking unstoppable, honestly, Zoot.
Yeah, I don't really know what AMD can do at this point. They just have more control at Mega or so. I don't know, but guys, let's jump over into Liquid comms, leading towards this quad.
I have to reset.
Okay, I got Heavy, 25.
Alright, power up.
From Plat, Galena, I threw a quad totem on it. He's not that healthy.
Yeah.
They're weak at Mega, both.
Both are
He's
weak.
so weak. Rush. I got him zoned down. I got it.
I got it.
Okay, 43 Mega. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm 120.
Heavy, 26.
Okay.
I'm at outer.
Awesome comms there, recognizing how weak AMD was with the power-up, and they decided to bite the bullet, go in for the rush with the machine gun. They knew that the mega health was up and that it was going to be something that AMD wanted, and they just still locked it down, had the resources then to take themselves, and they've now extended that frag lead. Beautiful play from Liquid.
15, very reminiscent of Blood Covenant, even though AMD was able to get 2 power-ups this time. Technically 1.5, because they didn't even get to actually use the quad there. Still Liquid looking so strong, and AMD we're just struggling to really get into this one. Again, a lot of these major mega healths and heavy armors are just being prevented. They're not being given a chance, most importantly. Latrommi able to get a kill on DaHanG, trying to transition over to Mega. They have the timing. They know it's up very, very short. They're going to get a nice 2-on-1 on Rapha. They will net them the kill, but again, DaHanG's going to be there. DaHanG gets one. Might be able to get a second. Gets a fantastic first rocket in, but so does Latrommi. But again, DaHanG gets the Mega, and also gets even more overstack from the kill they had on Cooler above the statue.
Well, guys, we heard the feedback. You like it? We're going to jump into a bit more AMD comms as we lead up to protection.
Дроп минус 100 на шахте. Сейчас меда.
Мне нужно умирать. Живи, жди квада.
Very different tone.
Oh, sorry, that was a sexy use of Peeker there. He sits there on the heavy stealth, uses Peeker to sit up high to do damage to anyone coming. That's going to be a pummel onto Latrommi, and most certainly that's going to be almost the end of the map here and the match.
Yeah.
Guaranteeing Liquid that first seed out of the group.
You can always tell when there's a lot less noise in the comms and a lot less communication going on. They might just be kind of sitting back, you know what, accepting fate.
Yeah. I mean, when you're down this much, almost 20 frags again. And the thing is, what's so important for Liquid here, we have to keep reiterating over the course of today, is your map score matters, but so does your kill frag or your kill depth differential. And they have 2 maps in a row now, had a 20 frag lead at the end of the map.
Yeah,
that almost guarantees them a semifinal berth.
It's a huge score for them. You can tell they're playing for every single one. You know, Rapha and DaHanG are trying to have a perfect game. They're going to find the last frag. That was 50-27, I think. You know what? I think it's fair.
Yeah,
Liquid a favorite in that game, but I was not expecting it to be quite as one-sided as that. That was a